Good morning everyone, it is that day again. We are herd testing, but the good thing about it is that today is actually our last herd test for the season, so it is quite an important one, but it's also a good one to get out of the way as well. Look at that though, another beautiful morning. Big Yellow's just making her way up. It's almost a bluebird. Oh, not quite, there's a few clouds over there, but oh, spectacular. We did have a little bit of bad luck, I guess you could say. A little bit unfortunate. You want to tell them what happened?
Oh, a somatic cell count.
No, it's not the somatic cell count.
It's a
Bacto.
Oh, Bacto was a C, I think. It was 64,000. It's meant to be around 4, I think. So
on our last milk pickup, which means we got graded.
Graded.
And I think that's our first grade in about 4 years.
The trouble is I don't know what caused it. So what do you do to fix it when you don't know what's causing it?
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's a bit funny because we've just gone to every second day pickup and it was the first pickup on that we got it from, I'm pretty sure. So, a bit of a shame, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, definitely ruins our streak now. Because we're almost at the end of these cows' lactation, they won't be filling these cups up very full. This one is the 5th cow back. So you can see, well, it might be a little bit hard to see, but there is a drip coming in through here, and that's where these flasks fill up. So it's only taking a proportion of what the cow's actually giving, but it's consistent. So if it gives a lot of milk, it'll be full. Like at the start of the season, they were filling up these containers, and now it'll probably only go to about half or maybe just under it. So they milk quite well at the start, and then as she gets less and less, it slows down. But we'll come back and check it. So that's 245, and see how she's done when she's finished. And what it means by going to every second day pickup is pretty self-explanatory really, but in this vat we were getting picked up every day, so the milk line yesterday was about there, about that level through there, and now it's there at the moment. So instead of getting picked up every day, we're getting picked up every second day. It usually happens when you get below a certain percentage, come on girl, of milk that you can fit in your vat, so you've got to have a little bit less than half, so if you did produce more than you thought you were going to, it's not going to overflow it. And the milk factory, they just put you onto it. So it is quite handy though, because instead of milk or washing the vat every day, you're going to have to wash it every second day. And we get picked up at night, we're always picked up at night, so instead of getting up that little bit earlier to wash the vat, you can have a bit of a sleep in. These cows should have all finished pretty much milking out, so we'll go back to this 5th one here. Yep, there's no milk coming through the bowl there, and she's produced quite a bit. It's actually pretty good. You see some of them aren't producing a heck of a lot. They're probably ready to be dried off. Some of them are way down, so they'll be the first candidates. I always think it's pretty cool when numbers come in numerically, like 129 and 128, but I haven't actually seen any today. But this is quite cool. So this cow here, number 322 and 327, that is mum and that's her daughter. She's actually quite a nice cow. She's 3/4 Frisian, that one, although she's straight like jet black. I think she's a F12, so you can see she's a little bit bigger than the rest, and that's why. But that's our only Frisian cow we have. Last row's milking out now. Ended on a high note. Look, number 7 and number 8. It's a bit hard to see that one, but 7 and 8. Paul's come down to give a hand. hose out. It was quite handy actually. Mum was working this morning, so Paul went and got the cows. They were way down on the flats there, and at the moment they're just so slow coming up. They sort of dawdle along, so it was quite handy that one of us didn't have to stop milking and go down and get them, because it probably would have slowed us up by at least probably half an hour. Last milk sumbles, and that is it for the season. Boom, done. It's a good feeling getting them out of the way. We used to only do 3. Dad only ever did 3 because it just saved a little bit of money not doing that 4th one. But then the records aren't quite as accurate. It doesn't get your milk from the cows quite right, so that's why I wanted to do 4 again. And this last test that we've just done is mainly to do with the sow count. So because we are going to be drying off in the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks, we want to know the sow count of each individual cow, so that when we dry them off we know that if they need dry cow therapy or not. So any cow that is over 150,000 on the sow count will get dry cow, and any 2-year-old, so first lactation cow or heifer, over 120,000 will get it as well. So that's the main importance of doing it now. Couple of lame cows there, which is a little bit annoying. I have looked at their feet, couldn't find anything too majorly wrong with them, so whether it's like white line that's turned into sort of infection in the joint, which isn't really good, but I am treating them. They're in the paddock here next to the shed, so they don't have to walk very far. There's a heap of grass in here. What I'm going to do though is just clean this trough out. Dad did put zinc stuff in here. Oh yeah, it looks disgusting, which turned it sort of this reddy colour. It was when the bulls are in here. I'm just going to clean it out so they can have nice, fresh, clean water. Won't take long too with this little calf trough, although there's a bit of pressure coming in here. There we go, nice and clean. What an absolute day. It's a picture. I need to clean up that pile of hedge over there. That is on my list of jobs that I want to do pretty quickly. But through here, where we did pull out that hedge, this is all new grass. I got Lockie to drill it when he did the other paddock over there of chicory, and it's come up really good. This is Reason, or it's called Reason. It's a new variety. It's not pulling out. Maybe that other paddock could be ready to graze. That's something I can look at today. Oh yeah, looks pretty good to me. Pretty happy with how it has come up though. You can sort of see a couple of drill lines along here, and that was all bare too, but it's filled out nicely. Going back to the back doe, and I was wondering, although I don't think so, but I was wondering whether maybe there was some gunk build up in here, because back doe is pretty much like a build up of milk somewhere, and it's gone a bit rotten, and then it's gone into the milk and sort of contaminated it. So I have been getting milk from home in this little stainless steel jug out of that, but I've been doing that for the last month at least, and every time I give it a good wash, so I wouldn't think it's coming from there, but there was just one thing I was sort of wondering about. I need to get some milk at the moment actually. Oh, bit of pressure behind that. So that's what I usually do, and it's pretty clean in there. Like I can't see any milk build up. So I would have thought that'd be alright, and like I said, I have been doing that for the last month and haven't run into any problems. It's a little bit strange. Started getting milk out of the vat because I sort of added it up a little while ago, and we were going through about 4 milk bottles, 4 of those 3-litre milk bottles a week, and they are $5, so that's $20 a week, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you times it by a year, that's $1,000. So I thought I can get it out of the vat and the kids love it, so it's a bit of a saving there. These milk meters, once they get picked up, they'll go and get put in somebody else's shed, so it's pretty important to keep everything nice and clean for the next person. All packed away now, readers in the box, all the meters are on the bench, and then I just keep all those flasks out here. So didn't actually use those 3 there. Normally we get enough to do 304 cows, but we're only milking 271 at the moment, so didn't need those 3. However, we'll move on to a little bit of good luck. The screen's a bit glary, but one of our horses, Medina, she ran yesterday, or one that we have a share in, and it's this one up here with the light blue covers, or silks. So she's done well, she's started really good, she's in that sort of front pack, and I'll fast forward it. It's a 1400 metre race, so they're coming round that home bend, and there she is right there.
Schumacher left for home. Schumacher regained the lead. Medina the outside. Schumacher, they hit the post. Bob of the head's not sure. Maybe Medina a nose to Schumacher.
We ended up getting the win, which is awesome. We got the bob, or it was right timing, whatever, but we still got the win. So that is pretty exciting. That's the whole thing me and my mates wanted to do. This was just to experience it or go along for the ride, and picked up a win. That's even better. It even makes it just that little bit sweeter. We would have been happy with the top 3, but yeah, a win is something else. So that is pretty cool. Hopefully she might be able to pick up a couple more too. So I think she's going to race again in about 10 to sort of 2 weeks time. And hopefully she's fresh and rearing to go for that one too. We don't actually own any of the horse. We just bought sort of into the lease of her. So we've got her for 2 years, I think. I'm over here now at this new grass paddock, which I sowed into permanent. This was in chicory, and you can see there is a lot of chicory in here still. It's even worse down that end, but I just want to have a little look, because I think it is getting to the stage where it probably needs a graze just to nip it off. It's looking pretty good though. You can't really see the rows. It's almost got that canopy closure, and by that I mean just the tips are sort of blocking out in between the drill rows. It's also quite weedy, like there's a lot of this chickweed around this year. I might have to weed spray this one, or it's probably best to give it a weed spray, which will kill this chicory as well. And we don't really want the chicory in here, because see this big area that it takes over, and it's just shading out all the grass. So we don't really want these in here at all. We want the grass to grow instead. We always seem to get a bit of chicory come back, and that's why I try and leave it so we get some good regrowth before we spray it. So we give it sort of a good week's worth of regrowth and then get in there and spray it. But yeah, the break down the end, maybe I'll walk down there and have a little look, but it's pretty thick. Kind of in 2 minds. I don't really want to put the cows on here, just because they might chew it down a little bit too hard. But tomorrow is the end of, what are we in now? April. So that means the heifers are coming back on the 2nd, which is Thursday, and it would probably be perfect to put them in here for a couple of hours and get them to chew it down. You can clearly see where this chicory break was. I know it looks really nice when it's like this, but yeah, it just outcompetes. It's quite thick through here. We'll pull this out. See, there's a little bit of grass underneath, but it is quite bare as well, and that's not what we want. See, there's a lot of grass through there, and that means it goes patchy. The rest of the paddock looks pretty good. It's just this last break that the cows had down the end here. Obviously didn't give it that break long enough to get some regrowth. I do have 20 calves here, which will be going when the heifers come back, so maybe, because they need moving today, maybe I'll just put them in here, because it's probably quite good pick for them. I don't know if they'll eat a lot of this chicory, but might as well. They're not going to damage it too much. Better give it a pull test to just have a little look and see what it's doing. It's not too bad. So, see, no roots. Perfect. This gate had a flat tyre the other day, so I took it off. Got Dad to drop it in town and it was fixed, but Wasn't fixed quite right. Well, there must have been another hole or something, because it's been going flat overnight. But if I pump it up now, it should be right to use. I had a call before from Matt from Koroniki Development, and he said they're going to come into here and do a release. So by that I mean all these plants, they're just going to go around and get all the grass and weeds away from them, so it lets them get more sunlight and an opportunity to grow. This will be the third time they've been released, and he said that that will be their last one. They won't need another one. They should be big enough by then to be able to thrive by themselves. So that is pretty cool. That means that this block through here, and those other two over there, are pretty much sorted from now on, which is awesome. They got planted, well, just under a year ago, and they should be able to thrive from now on out, which is, yeah, it's pretty cool. I've had these calves in here, which was one of the paddocks that I undersowed in Mohaka, and it was getting a little bit long. As you can see through here, it's quite thick. Needs to be chewed off with the heifers as well, probably. Not too hard, but I thought I'd chuck the calves in here. I need to put them somewhere, and they have gone around and taken the tops off a little bit, which has helped. Still feeding them a bit of PK in the feeder here, but they are just absolutely nailing the hay at the moment. I'm giving them a bale a day. It's quite handy because I'm using up last year's hay that never got fed out, so not the new stuff that we bought off Mike this year, but from the year before. It's still pretty good stuff, to be fair. Oh no, don't go out the gate. I did bring some more PK up for them, but I don't think they need it. Like, you must have got a fright before, or they were just getting playful, but they bolted down the paddock. Some ran back out the gate over there. Luckily they sort of stopped and they've come back. Good calves, well trained. Wanted to watch them for a little bit. I can't see any clods coming out when they bite the grass off and pull the grass out, which is good. That's exactly what we want to happen. If we go over here too and see that grazing height through there, very clean. Nothing's come out, nothing's pulled out, which is perfect. Another job that I need to do this week is go around and fertilise all these annual paddocks. So this was the other one, grazed it off. I was going to put my cows in here, but I thought, oh, I'll put the young herd in. And they're cleaning it up all right. There's still a bit left, but they'll eat it overnight. There's only one more paddock of annual, and it's the triangle paddock straight up there. That's probably a couple of weeks off grazing, but if I can just shoot around now, chuck some sustain on these, it's definitely going to help them out, especially while it's nice and warm at the moment. It'll also tidy that job up, and then I can chuck the spreader away for the season as well. But that pretty much will wrap this video up, guys. It's getting on now. It's after that beautiful start this morning, it has gone quite overcast or cloudy. This was also one of the paddocks that I undersowed here, and I chewed it off with the calves before, so they've done sort of patchy work, like they've chewed patches down all right, but I probably might as well chuck a bit of sustain in this paddock as well, give it a little bit of nitrogen for those new plants. However, that will do it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.